everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Bethany if you're new here, and I do motherhood and lifestyle videos here on my channel. So welcome if you're new, and if you're a returning subscriber, I just want to say thank you to you guys. You guys have been so amazing and so patient through this time where I've been adjusting to have this little guy join our home, and I've been trying to kind of get in the rhythm back into this routine of life and adjusting to having another baby in our home. Because as you guys know, newborns, they're a lot of work and they have a lot of needs. And, having another child, my 2.5-year-old daughter, she is very busy. Now my parents have returned home, and so it is just us. I don't have my mom around to help me with things, and so I'm definitely learning what it means to adjust to having me being a little bit outnumbered in the home a little bit. So again, my voice is a little bit raspy because I have been sick, and today I'm going to be doing kind of a 2-week baby update / postpartum update, because I know you guys are wondering how I am doing after my emergency C-section, and this is actually my second C-section, so just updating you guys how I'm recovering, how I'm feeling, and all that stuff. So first I'm going to talk about Mr. Kellen here. He is sleeping right now. Both kids are napping, and so I was like, oh my gosh, I definitely need to get some filming done or just be a little bit productive, because it doesn't happen too often anymore where I get a chunk of free time to do something, and especially film for my channel. So okay, so if you guys haven't seen my birth vlog, my birth story videos, you guys should go ahead and check those videos out. They do go into a lot of detail on how Kellen came into this world, and kind of I came to having another C-section. So if you guys want to go check those videos out, make sure you do that, because it'll give you a little bit more of an insight of what I'm going to be talking about today. So don't mind Kellen, he is just snoring. He is a very loud sleeper. He's a grunter. He makes a lot of noise, and so I don't ever have to check to see if he's breathing, because he likes to make lots of noise, which is kind of nice in some ways. I always would do that with my daughter. I would always go up to her, and I would have to watch her to see if she's breathing or not. But with him, I definitely know that he's okay because of all of his noise he makes. But Kellen was actually born at 7 pounds 8 ounces, almost 9 ounces. And so he actually was a pretty average sized baby, which was great. I thought he was going to be over 8 pounds actually, but he surprised us and was 7 pounds. But he has actually, guys, he is an eater, and he does not stop eating. I'm not even joking. Every time he awakes from sleep, he is looking for food. He is looking for milk to drink. And yes, I am breastfeeding, but I will get a little bit into that in my postpartum portion of the video later on. But basically, he is such a good eater. Right from when he was born, he knew what he was doing, and he has not stopped since. So I have actually had my midwives, who are absolutely amazing, come and visit me every 4 days since Kellen has been born. And now my next appointment will be in 2 weeks from now, just because he is 2 weeks old and they don't need to, come to my house every 4 days to check up on us, because we are doing well. He is gaining tons of weight and all that good stuff. Basically, Kellen is now weighing at 8 pounds 11 ounces. He is so big already. He has rolls on his legs. He has a double chin. It's crazy how much he's been eating. My daughter Brielle was such a little snacker and would never feed this much, ever. She still doesn't eat very much at all. So this is all kind of pretty new to me, and I've definitely been taking advantage of the amount of supply I've been having, just because he's been eating so much. I've been storing a ton of breast milk. I've been pumping, which has been great. I'm just trying to take advantage of this time where my supply is really, really high. So overall, Kellen is a pretty laid back little guy, and I think I've mentioned this in my birth story video, but he is such a good boy. When he is burped, fed, his diaper's changed, he's comfortable, he is such a good guy. Lay by himself and just be happy. He doesn't need to be held all the time. He does like to be held to be put to sleep, which I don't mind too much right now. He's still pretty much a newborn, so that's to be expected. He does love cuddles. He does love being on me, which I really, really love. I am so sorry if his snoring is so loud, you guys. think it's pretty cute. But he does get pretty gassy, and I'm noticing that when I do eat dairy, that definitely does agitate him. So I've been trying my best to stay away from it altogether. It's been very difficult, as I love my dairy and I love my cheese and my ice cream, but he just can't digest it very well right now, and that's fine. I know that could be something to look into. He doesn't have a milk allergy, like he doesn't have a milk intolerance to my milk. It's just depending on what I eat, which makes him more gassy or not, which is normal for this stage for newborns. So I've just had to kind of watch what I eat a little bit so that he doesn't get too gassy, because he can be fussy for a long time if I don't watch what I eat. So one thing that I actually have noticed about Kellen, and like I said earlier, is that he makes quite a bit of noise when he's breathing. That is due to him having a floppy larynx. Not larynx, larynx. It's hard for me to say. So I actually had kind of a scare when he was about a week old where I thought he was sick, just because me and my daughter Brielle have had a really bad cold where we lost our voices, we were coughing, we were sneezing, we were not breathing very well. And that's why I still have kind of a raspy voice right now, because I am still getting over it a little bit. He actually didn't get sick, but I called my midwife because he wasn't breathing clearly. Like, it sounded like kind of like a wheezing sound, and it was really scary because I honestly thought that he wasn't breathing properly and that he wasn't getting enough oxygen. I thought he was sick, and I thought we had to go to the hospital. So I called my midwife, and she came to our house and checked his oxygen levels, you know, checked his heart, checked his lungs, 100% clear, no problems whatsoever. And so she was like, I've seen this before, I've seen it many times before. And basically what it is just kind of the epiglottis, or the flap that's between the esophagus and the trachea, or your windpipe. It's not hardened yet. The cartilage isn't as hard, and so it tends to be kind of floppy. So when he breathes, it makes a lot of noise, but he is getting enough oxygen. He's totally fine. He's not sick, but it's just something that they grow out of as time goes on. So basically, if it hasn't changed by a year old, then it's something to be maybe concerned about, but overall it's quite common. But I was freaking out because I thought he was sick. I thought he had an infection. I thought we had to go to the hospital. So I'm so thankful that everything is fine. And that's kind of why he makes so much noise when he breathes. Also, Kellen is honestly in like perfect health, which is such an answer to prayer. Like, it's so amazing to know that he's doing very well. He had a little bit of jaundice when he was first born, but he's been doing lots of peeing and pooping, and he didn't have it really severely, so we didn't need to do any light therapy or anything like that. So we just kept an eye on that, and same with our midwives, and he's been doing fine, and he has no signs of it now. So basically, I haven't put Kellen on a schedule because I find that feeding on demand is really essential, especially for babies in the first 3 months of their life, because, you know, they're needing to gain weight and to grow and to flourish. And so I'm not really on any regiment with him. I didn't do this with my daughter, and she kind of just flowed into her own schedule, and that's kind of what Kellen's been doing already. I find that he does really good at nighttime. He kind of does more dream feeds in the night, and then kind of is more awake during the day. And sometimes I try to keep him awake a little bit longer during the day so that he'll have deeper, longer sleeps during the night. He hasn't had like a set time of when he's awake and when he's sleeping yet, but it's all kind of relatively around the same. He'll basically be awake from about 10 to about 12-ish, and then he'll go down to sleep for 3 to 4 hours stretches at night, and then he'll be awake for about 45 minutes where I'll burp him and make sure he's, you know, comfortable and everything, and then he'll go back to sleep and sleep for another 3 to 4 hours. So I'm really doing quite well with sleep, which is awesome. He's giving me good stretches at nighttime, and I'm not waking up every hour to 2 hours, so I feel like I've been able to function normally, well, semi-normally, because I'm used to getting 8 hours straight right before he was born. I'm gonna put him down. My arm's getting a little tired. So that's kind of where Kellen is at right now. He's still very little, but also his newborn clothes are starting to get too small, and it's making me quite sad because I feel like I didn't really cherish this time with my daughter because it was quite overwhelming for me, and I was just ready to be confident in my abilities with my daughter, and I just never felt that until about 3 months into her life. And I've kind of felt the first couple months I never really got to enjoy that small tiny little stage, even though they are quite a bit of work. I feel like this time I've really enjoyed having Kellen being tiny. I feel like too I've had a lot more confidence during this time than I ever did with my daughter. And you know, just kind of doing a little bit of a mental health update for you guys too, is that I am doing like 100% better than when I was pregnant. And if you guys have been following along with me, you know that I had been depressed during my pregnancy, and I was having some really tough moments then. Of course, it wasn't all just pregnancy related. I had some other outside circumstances, you know, feeding that depression, and that was also really hard to cope with as well. But I can honestly say now that I'm not pregnant anymore, that I am feeling so good, you guys. I feel so much more joyful and excited about the future and just my daily life, and I am just feeling so good. Obviously, the adjustment has been a bit difficult. It's been a challenge. I feel very capable and very confident in my mothering skills to take care of 2 babies, and that's something that I was kind of nervous about, you know, bringing Kellen into our family, that I would be overwhelmed. And I can honestly say, you guys, that I don't feel like that at all, which is so great. So that kind of gives a little segue into my postpartum update. I am now 2 weeks postpartum, and things are going really well. I was never feeling this good with my daughter Brielle. And if you guys don't know, I did mention at the beginning of this video, but I did have a second C-section, and it was actually another emergency C-section. So hey, that's just kind of where we're gonna go from this point. If we choose to have more kids, it's just gonna be a scheduled C-section next time. So I guess we kind of know where we're gonna go from there if we choose to have more. The first week after my C-section was really hard, dealing with a lot of pain and just feeling very sore, and that's quite normal. You've had major surgery. There's 2 incisions, one on your uterus and one on your skin on the outside. This is apart from them, you know, stretching your ab muscles and taking out some of your organs to get to your uterus. So it is quite sore and painful for the first week to week and a half, but I can honestly say, you guys, that the past, I'd say even almost week, I have been feeling so good. I'm actually totally off painkillers now. I don't need any of that at all, and I am feeling very good. But of course, with a C-section, you are not allowed to do certain things like drive, carry more than your baby, you know, do physical activity that's strenuous and things like that. They do encourage you to move around a lot. And so of course with my daughter, I'm not really able to just lay and rest and do that because I need to take care of her, and I have another baby as well. I mean, from the get-go, I was moving around quite a bit, and I think this is what kind of helped my postpartum recovery quite a bit. I wasn't straining myself, but I was just moving a lot, and I think this has really helped me recover quite quickly. I actually did get staples this time. I didn't have staples with my daughter, just had some dissolvable stitches, but this time I actually had staples holding me together, which was something that was new for me. And obviously the hardest part for me after having a C-section is taking that first bandage off and kind of looking at your incision, and you're like, it doesn't look the greatest. And with this C-section, they had to do a bit of a bigger incision because it was hard to get Kellen out. Basically, it looked like a horror movie. In my mind, it was not cute, okay? Staples are not cute looking. But of course, with my home visits from my midwives, which are great, they take a look at my incision every time. I was healing very wonderfully. Now I have no staples. They were removed about a week ago, and so I am now kind of home free with my incision, and it's looking well. It's healing really well, and I will probably show that to you guys at the end of this video with my belly and just all that stuff. So if you don't know, and I actually didn't know this, but after a C-section, you still have postpartum bleeding because your body is still, you know, cleansing yourself of that pregnancy, and it still takes a while for your body to go back to normal. So even though I didn't have a vaginal birth, I still have postpartum bleeding. Now with my daughter, I bled for honestly about 8 weeks. It was a long time. And with this time, my bleeding is almost done. It's only been 2 weeks, and I am basically down to a very light pad. I don't have to worry about really heavy bleeding at this point, which is amazing, and I am feeling so good about that. One thing that's so different, I know I keep contrasting to my last pregnancy, my last postpartum period, but this time has been so different and it's been so good. I am back into my normal clothes. After 2 weeks, I feel like my belly has gone down. I'm so thankful for that because I'm feeling like myself, and that is awesome. So I am back into my jeans, which is great. I still can't wear low-rise jeans because it does kind of come where my incision is, and so I've been wearing high-waisted jeans and pants, which have been great, and they kind of like hold everything together too, which has been good. But one thing I actually have been doing postpartum is wearing a postpartum girdle this time, which has been super helpful to kind of just hold everything together and kind of put it back into place a lot sooner than if I was not to wear one. I actually have one from BellaFit, which I have been really honestly loving, you guys. I never did this with my daughter, but even after a C-section, it's just good to feel like everything is together, and it just feels really good to, you know, see the difference of my belly even after wearing it for about an hour. It's absolutely amazing. So if you guys are interested in getting your own BellaFit girdle, which I have seriously enjoyed so much, you can find the link down below. If you use my discount code, you will actually get 20% off your purchase. So I will put that down below for you guys as well. Oh yeah, breastfeeding. Oh my gosh, I feel like I'm like rambling on. Seriously, like mom brain, pregnancy brain, totally a thing right now. Not pregnant, but mom brain, yeah. But basically breastfeeding has gone so well this time. I have an absolute excess of milk because, like I said, my son has been feeding so much, you guys, and I've actually been pumping to relieve some of that pressure and some of that engorgement, and so I actually do pump in between feedings as well. So I've been keeping my supply up to a point where it's like almost a lot, but I have been storing a lot of my breast milk. I have been freezing it, and I actually had to transfer it somewhere else because my freezer was full of breast milk. It's only been 2 weeks, and I honestly probably have over, oh my gosh, I'd say close to 200 ounces of breast milk. And I'm kind of thinking about maybe selling it. But anyways, I kind of have this stockpile so that, you know, if he needs to have a bottle, or if we decide to go out on a date or anything like that, then he has access to milk, which is great. But yeah, breastfeeding is going really well. He feeds every time he wakes up, right away. That's exactly what he wants to do. He's very efficient at eating and does a really good job latching. He has no latching issues, no tongue ties, no lip ties at all. So, you know, he's been doing well, and I feel really confident with breastfeeding this time around, and I feel like I can breastfeed anywhere with him. Put out my boob and giving him something to eat, which is awesome, and I feel so good about that. So, okay, so I'm gonna show you guys my C-section incision, and I'm also gonna show you guys my tummy and how it's doing, which I'm actually really pleased with. So I am now in high-waisted jeans, which is awesome. Basically, this is my tummy. This is my tummy 2 weeks postpartum, you guys. It's looking pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. It's still, you can still tell that I had a baby. There's that mom belly there, but overall I think it looks pretty good. I still do have that mother's mark, but for me that doesn't go away for, you know, close to a year. So I feel like I'm doing pretty good, and I'm really pleased with how my tummy has gone down this time. So I'm not going to show it off too much or get too close, but this is what my incision looks like now. There is a bit of numbness above the incision, which is normal and will go away with time. But basically, this is what it looks like, you guys. Doesn't look pretty, but we all have our scars and our marks from having babies, and I do not mind one bit. So this is what it looks like right now, and in time it will look a lot better. It'll feel a lot better, but there it is, guys. Okay, you guys, so that kind of wraps up this baby postpartum 2-week update. I hope you guys did enjoy. Again, look forward to more day in the life vlog videos, which are a lot easier for me to film right now because getting this free time has been so nice today. It is my 26th birthday today, which is awesome, and I'm so thankful that I was able to have the best birthday gift ever this year, which was my son, and I just am so grateful for this year and just all the changes and everything that has come. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Make sure you do subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you guys in my next one. Bye!